spa resort, and they thought hiding it under the bridge would keep it away from people. But they forgot about the boats that go past. Quite cleverly, they've installed one-way glass, but quite stupidly, they've installed it the wrong way round. Some days we wish we never looked at all. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're clear of Cannon Street Railway Bridge. That building on the left-hand side, that brown brick building with the red windows. This is the Anchor Pub. This is the oldest pub here in London. There's been a pub on that site for more than 400 years. And it's also rumoured that Shakespeare used to use the attic of this pub as a dressing room for his nearby Shakespeare's Theatre. Many celebrities visit this pub, and me and the captain often go here after work. But we go here after work to do research about the River Thames, to tell you lovely ladies and gentlemen more facts about it. It can be very thirsty work, and sometimes we spend so long in there we forget all the research we've done and we have to go back the next day to do it all again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Suffolk Road Bridge, but once we're clear of Suffolk Road Bridge, slightly ahead of the boat on the left-hand side at a diagonal angle, you'll see the white circular building with the brown windows and the thatched roof. This is the Tudor-style building. This is the Globe Theatre, also known as Shakespeare's Globe. And this is where Shakespeare would have performed many of his plays, such as Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, The Tempest, just to name a few. And even in summer months, you can still catch live performances of these plays in that theatre. It costs just £5 to enter, and can I say £5 in London is great value for live entertainment. It's also the only building here in London with a thatched roof. And that's because after the Great Fire of London, it became illegal for any building to have a thatched roof other than Shakespeare's Globe. However, ladies and gentlemen, it is an open-top theatre, so if you are planning a visit, pick a day like today where it's not raining, because if it is raining, you will get wet and so will the actors, but don't worry, the show will continue. And this is where they get the saying from, the show must go on. Next bridge in front of us is Millennium Footbridge, but here in London we like to call it the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. And the story behind that, it was opened in the year 2000 by our late Queen, but just 20 closed this bridge. And they closed it because the pedestrians were saying, and you can see the dome there now of St Paul's. And St Paul's has the second largest freestanding dome in the world, second St Peter's in the Vatican City of Rome. And St Paul's is 365 foot tall, nice easy number to remember, 1 foot for every day of the year. And St Paul's is open 7 days a week, but a little tip for you ladies and gentlemen, it's free to enter to tomorrow morning. On a Sunday morning it's free to enter. And that's because it's a functioning church. They have a church service in there on a Sunday. But this red brick building in front of St Paul's, this is the new City of London School for Boys. But again, many greats have been to this school over the years, just to name a few, politicians and actors. Boris Johnson, and also Daniel Radcliffe, better known as Harry Potter. But if you see the price of that school, you'd also want your child to leave with magic powers. On the left-hand side, you see the old Bankside Power Station. But in recent years, this is now a modern art gallery. It's called the Tate Modern, and as the words say at the top, Tate Modern free and open to all. So it's actually free to enter. So if you're into modern art, it's well worth a visit. If you're not into modern art, you'll soon realise why it's free to enter. The next set of bridges are the Blackfriars Bridges, first one being Blackfriars Railway Bridge, and this was built for the 2012 Olympics, but like most things here in London it was running late, so it wasn't completed until 2013. And this bridge might look recognisable to some of you, and that's because it was in a recent film. Tom Cruise actually ran across the roof here, and that was in the film Mission Impossible 57. Ladies and gentlemen, the first bridge is Blackfriars Railway Bridge, the second bridge is Blackfriars Road Bridge, but when we're between the two bridges, both sides of the boat, you'll notice the old red pillars. These red pillars used to house the old railway bridge, but that's when steam trains used to come into London. But with new modern trains being longer and heavier, a new modern bridge was required. However, they kept these pillars in place not to disturb the foundations of the previous bridges. The next bridge is Blackfriars Road Bridge, and some people say this is where the river water meets the sea water. So both sides of the boat carved into the stone columns there. At the top of the stone you can see seagoing birds carved into the stone. But on the upper side of the bridge they're inland river birds. So the lower side seagoing birds, the upper side inland river birds, and that's just to represent this part of the River Thames when they say the river water meets the sea water. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're clear of Blackfriars Road Bridge. This newly developed skyscraper on our left-hand side. Many people in London are calling this the Kim Kardashian building. I'm not sure why. I think it's to do with the curve. And Now on the right hand side, you see that stone building there with a green slanted roof. This is the old City of London School for Boys. And many greats have been to this school over the years. There's actually 4 statues just underneath the green roof of great pupils that have attended this school. I'm going to name these pupils now left to right. First one being Francis Bacon, second one being William Shakespeare, third one being Isaac Newton, and then the fourth one David Beckham. Ladies and gentlemen, just joking, David Beckham didn't go to school. But now on the left hand side, you see that red brick building there and the tower with the windows that spell out OXO. Little fact for you now, it's illegal to advertise on the banks of the River Thames. You'll see no McDonald's signs or no Starbucks signs, and that's because this is the King's Royal Highway. But you would be right in thinking OXO, that's OXO the stock queue. When the building owners were confronted about this, they said purely coincidence that their windows spell out the name of their product. They was actually taken to court for this situation, but they won the court case and they've had free advertising on the River Thames ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, like I say, you've joined us today just after high tide, but over on the right hand side you see the green lions on the top of the river wall, and you can see the watermark where the tide was about half hour ago at high tide. So the tide actually reaches these lions, and we have a few rhymes that go along with this, one of them being, if the tide is up to the lion's mane, London is going down the drain. But mine and the captain's favourite one, if the lions are drinking, London is sinking, and if the lions are ducked, London is flooded. They don't all need to rhyme. Ladies and gentlemen, next couple of things I'm going to point out on the right hand side. First one, you see the iconic red telephone box, but just to the right hand side of that you see a blue telephone box. And again, this was used as an early tide indication. If the tide was ever to the top of the river wall, a police officer would use that blue telephone box to contact the London Underground system here in London and warn them of the potential flooding risk we had. But now you see this stone arch with the face of Old Father Thames on it. This arch marks the boundary point. We're now leaving behind the City of London and we're entering the City of Westminster. You may see them silver dragons on the roadside as well. These are positioned at all entry points to the City of London. But this white vessel on our right hand side, they have a bit of a party going on now. But this is a drinking club for master mariners. And if you're not sure what a master mariner is, that's a captain that's worked on this river or at sea for 25 plus years. And the head of this club is actually King Charles himself. So in the evening times you often see him there getting involved in the party.